Hello everyone, and welcome back to Coronavirus Corner. We didn't do very much during the heat wave, just a few short walks and some picnics on the beach, but it was lovely spending time together. Even Marjorie stopped grumbling eventually as the soft whispering sea worked its magic on us. Fanny told us her daughter used to play whooshing sounds to her little lad and they called it womb music. And Sharon said her womb doesn't feel very musical most of the time and she can't wait for menopause. Marjorie told her she shouldn't be wishing her life away. But Sharon said she's never wanted children and it just seems a waste of time being moody and spotty and whatnot. I can't imagine not wanting children. But then things are very different these days. Back then it was what you did. At our school we were separated into boys for metalwork and woodwork and girls for domestic science, which was mostly about washing pots, hemming skirts and making cheese and potato pie. I had a sudden vivid memory of Maureen and me as teenagers dreading going to school because we only got one pack of tights a term and they didn't have run resist back then, so we had to mend the ladders. By Christmas everyone looked as though they'd got varicose veins. Only mine looked as if they'd burst, because my mother used to insist on dabbing a spot of nail polish each end of the ladder before I set off for school. And it was usually red. I used to get home after school and rip the damn things off if they weren't glued to my legs, which they usually were. Auntie Nancy disapproved, of course. She got me a suspender belt for my 15th birthday and some silk stockings. I felt so glamorous. Mother said I was far too young, and Auntie Nancy said no, that was ridiculous. I needed to learn the ways of the world so I didn't get caught like an innocent abroad. And Mother said you could learn a few too many ways of the world. And Auntie Nancy laughed and said just because women were oppressed, it didn't mean they shouldn't have a bit of fun. I couldn't get on with the suspenders. They were supposed to hold the stockings up. But what actually happened was that the stockings gradually pulled them down. So by the time I got to school, all my underwear was halfway down my thighs. I've never understood how women wear stockings. Auntie Nancy was always so elegant, like a swan. I was the ugly duckling who grew up into an ugly duck. Still, we had a laugh reminiscing. And Eric said he had no idea how much his precious little seagull had suffered to look so beautiful. And Maureen went pink and giggled and said he didn't know the half of it. And then she said, "Oh, Edna, tell him about the bra fittings." I couldn't. The ritualistic shaming of every young Bridland girl being handed over by your mother to a hatchet-faced woman in Guthrie's. There were rumours that some girls never came out of that fitting room. In our young minds, white slavery was a very real danger in Bridland, and Guthrie's played a big part in it. We never gave a thought to what it must have been like being black. You didn't back then. But even Bridland has history with the slave trade. Eric says we're all complicit unless we speak up, so we're going to the public meeting about Captain Fotherby in October. Today's sensible tip is, we're all responsible for how the world works. Stand up for folk that need it when you can. You take care, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.